Hello.
What it do?
We weren't just scrambling around trying to hurry to get on here. Why did my water bottle just spew everywhere?
Got excited.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Why is the webcam way over here today?
It's always over there.
There,
Don't mind her. She's weird today.
I don't know. I'm normally like looking at it over here.
No, you're not.
Over here. Well, if I'm looking over here and it looks like I'm not looking at you, it's because I'm looking at the chat, which is way over here. Good morning, afternoon,
It's
lunchtime.
the same as it always is, by the way.
He's lying.
I'm not.
He changed everything.
I think it's just because my desk is
paranoid.
clean for the first time.
It is very clean, except your little dragon guy fell.
Oh, oops.
Oopsie. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We have a super duper fun topic today. Because you would
Sweet shirts. Thank you.
You would love to go get a day job, wouldn't you?
No.
No.
Not at all. I hate working for other people.
Looks like your tech guy is feeling much better.
Not really, actually. I woke up with a bit of I got good for probably 5 days or so, and I woke up with another cold this morning. So
yeah, the Ohio allergies are really crazy.
Yeah, I think it's all cold in my head.
So today we're going to be talking about 5 things that you should know before you decide to go and quit your day job to become a full-time Etsy seller. And for anyone who isn't aware, we are full-time Etsy sellers. And I have not had a job since I was 18 years old.
What's on your bottle?
On my bottle? Oh.
I was confused. I was like, what's a bottle?
A bottle? It's my new water
I'm
bottle.
stupid
Isn't it cute? I got it at Kroger's.
Missouri allergy season is never ending too. Oh, I know. And living in California for as long as we did, where there were like no allergens at all. Like neither of us had problems the whole time we were there.
Yeah.
Other than like in the spring and then in the rainy season in the fall.
Yeah, I had California. I had late summer allergies.
Oh, from Chile, where winter is starting. Brr, sorry.
Yeah, that stinks. I
don't know how many people I argue with that I say the seasons are backwards when you flip to the other side of the hemisphere.
Yeah, there's people who are totally. They just
people
think
that just have no concept of that. They're like, no, it's summer everywhere.
Like that's not how it works.
No, it's not.
So for anyone who isn't aware, our first 10 minutes before noon, we always hop on 10 minutes early to hang out with you guys and give everyone an opportunity to join us live. So we do have a few quick announcements. First of all, we have accumulated quite a few packages for our next unboxing video. So you can expect that to be coming very, very soon. If you've sent us something, it probably has arrived because we have a lot to open.
Yeah,
and then
we're up to like 9 right now.
Right. And we're expecting to do as long as like there's enough items that are meant for giveaways in those packages, because obviously we don't know what's in them. But I'm assuming that there will probably be a giveaway soon after that, just depending on what we are sent and if it is giveaway worthy.
We already got somebody asking a question, creative one. Hey guys, can you talk about selling jewelry to California with all the laws? If you don't live in California, you sell them the item and that's the end of it.
Yeah. I would.
If you're in the US.
Yeah. And we'll be answering questions at the end because we do like a topic, and then at the end we have free time. We ain't even
starting for 5 more minutes. This is our BS time, yo.
Calm
down.
This is our free time. Don't make us work longer than we have to. But yeah, selling to California is no. I mean, I lived in California for 6 years. I don't know if there's any weird jewelry laws in California. I know that you can't there's like certain animal parts that you can't ship to California, but anyway. All right.
Yeah, consult a legal professional if you're selling something you don't know if you can sell to the state of California.
Right. All right. So giveaways. For everyone who isn't aware already, our P.O. box is down below. There are a few guidelines. All of that can be listed down below. Most of you know this already. And this is not like a limited time thing. We're going to continue doing these unboxings and these giveaways. And right now we have one unboxing video up already. It's from a few weeks ago. If you go back and watch that, you can kind of get a feel for how the unboxing videos work. And then some of the items will be put on our back wall. I do have a little shelf, but I took it down because our cats
You're a loser.
Our cats
Took my shelf down with my picture.
Our
Had
cats.
your pretty cat picture up there, and she took it down, dog.
Our cats are trying to eat it because the shelf that I got is like on ropes.
The rope is like the same twine that they use on their stretch pads.
It's like a rope shelf. But anyway, here it is. This is a temporary shelf. This is not the shelf that we're using.
I guess it's not the same kind of rope, is it? It's freaking yarn.
Yeah, we're getting better shelves. We just want to make sure that we actually have a few products to put back there. On the table. Sorry. Anyway, guys, so P.O. Box is down below if you're interested in that. We are 18 days into our 31 Reasons to Dominate Etsy series on Instagram, which you can go ahead if you want to participate in that series. All you have to do is use the hashtag 31, the number 31 Reasons to Dominate Etsy, and let me know what your reason is that you want to dominate Etsy. And my very favorite reasons, I'm creating these really pretty graphics, which you can view either on my Instagram account. I upload one daily to my Instagram stories, or you can also follow me on Facebook at Starla and the Handmade Alphas. That is our Handmade Alpha Facebook page, if you want to follow those on Facebook as well. So if you want to participate in that, just hashtag 31 Reasons to Dominate Etsy along with your reason.
Hello, good morning, hola, and whatever else to all you new people.
Good morning.
Welcome back, Linda.
Good morning, everybody who's just joining us.
I just had like 20 people pop in, so cool. I figured I'd say hello.
And the last thing is, as if you guys are not already aware, the reason that we're doing it 31 days to dominate Etsy is because at the end of this 31 days, which will be June 1st, the doors to the Handmade Alpha Academy will officially open to the public. So that is exactly 2 weeks from today. And it's only going to be opening for 10 days. I will have a live stream completely dedicated to information about the Handmade Alpha Academy. So we'll be sure to answer all of your questions at that time. If you have any small questions, you're free to ask those at the end of this stream. Just make sure that we're waiting until the end, because I don't want all of our...
And just to get it out of the way, for any of you asking how much it's going to cost, it's going to be priced alongside Handmade Titan University.
Right.
Because I know we're going to get that question at least 4 times before we answer it. So there's the answer to it.
Right. We don't want, because Renee is like...
We're not pushing prices out here over the live stream yet. For why it's not really appropriate for us to do that. So.
Right. We don't want this to be a sales pitch, especially for people who just aren't interested.
That'll be for the live stream. That's the sales pitch. Listen to that.
Right. So, but we're pricing alongside Handmade Titan University because we don't want our courses to compete with each other. Yep. Not to mention, we tallied it out, and if you were to pay me every day to personally coach you for the amount of time that I put into the Handmade Alpha Academy for the last year, you would be paying me 69 cents a day. So if you want to do the math on that, you're more than welcome to, but that would be for me working 5 days a week, 69 cents a day, 5 days a week.
It's 69 cents. You don't need to do any math. It's a great number.
69 cents a day. And trust me, that's far less than I would personally charge you to coach you daily.
A lot more than you'd want to pay. Well, not to sound cocky, but
well, personal coaches are typically
very expensive, $500 to $1,000.
Oh yeah, that's just for singular consultations.
For a single consultation to actually be like a personal business coach. That's usually like $3 or $4 grand a month for like a professional business coach.
Yeah,
they're expensive. When I got into bodybuilding, since we're getting ready to start, when I got into bodybuilding, I actually contacted one of my favorite people that I watch on YouTube. He's a multi-billionaire. He works in the like he sells like protein powder and stuff like that. He's a really big guy in the what is the word I'm looking for? Supplement industry. And he was talking, I asked him how much it would be for him to coach me on business, because I was looking to get into it. And he didn't even like give me a quote. He just said, you probably can't afford that. If you're starting up a business, he said it usually starts at $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Right. Elena's, oh my God, Starla, how excited are you? I'm queasy because we have you guys aren't actually supposed to know this, so don't tell anybody. We have a very small group going in today.
Me too, Linda.
We have a very small group going in today to test to make sure everything works okay before next Friday. And just because like people are seeing it for the first time and like it's happening at 1 o'clock, I'm so freaking nervous. Like you have no idea. Not that I'm nervous about the content, because the content
We have been working
is amazing.
Stop.
It's just the fact that people are going to see it. Everyone's going to see it. I worked on it for a year and people are finally going to see it. So I'm super duper nervous that people will see it. But anyway, your makeup is so good. Thank you.
4,000 starting point. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, that's for like a billionaire to coach you. So you're still looking at a couple grand a month.
Alpha beta testers. Yeah. Our alpha betas. Our alpha betas have dealt with sides of me.
I wish I was part of that group.
It's been a chaotic group. Not that the people are chaotic, the situations and all the bugs and the bug testing.
Everything you've ever seen has had some sort of beta tester to it. We had to pick a few people that we knew could constantly kind of be.
And these were like people that I knew personally and people who already had like six-figure businesses.
And some people, yes, and some people that had some tech experience too that could point some stuff out. Mm-hmm. So we got all that figured out. We're still doing a couple things, getting stuff finished up. All the videos are uploaded and good to go.
Yeah, it looks awesome so far. But we can't talk anymore about it because I can't spoil the secrets.
Right now, we're just trying to see if we can break it. That's pretty much it.
We're trying to break it on purpose to make sure that
I'm doing the tech side of it. I'm trying to break it.
Yeah, we're trying to break it on purpose to make sure that it can't be broken. And so far, it can't be broken. So, all right, guys.
I said there's always glitches and quirks at first, but it all evens out. See, that's the thing, because we worked with our beta testers on the official launch date. We don't want any of that to happen. We want to be done and through all of that before we actually get to the launch date.
Yeah.
I contacted our site too to make sure it could handle a load of people I think we're going to have.
Yeah, it's going to be ridiculous. All right, guys. So let's start talking. As most of you know, Mark and I are full-time sellers, but if any of you are not aware or you're not on my email list and didn't get my big, long message, I got my shirt from Wicked Clothing. If any of you are not aware, a little backstory about us. I hope I get all these ages right. I had to really think about this when I typed out the email today. So I have not worked a normal job, like worked for the man, since I was 19 years old. The last job that I had was working for Honda. Was Honda our last job? It was.
Yeah, it was your last job.
My first job was McDonald's. My second job, I was a preschool teacher, and that's what I went to school for. And then my third job was working at a grimy Honda factory, and I've never freaking looked back. At age 19, I started my Etsy shop right after having a C-section that was extremely complicated and left me pretty much like unable to do anything. Not to mention, he had just joined the military, and we had no way to hire a babysitter to watch our newborn, so I could run off and get a formal job. So I started my Etsy shop and made a whole lot of mistakes, as most of you already know, but that's why we are where we are today. And then at age, 23, I started to really begin gaining some media attention. I started really, that's actually when I started gaining business momentum. And then
told you I got a cold, sorry.
Yeah. And I was featured by ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, Yahoo Finance, a ton of different news publications. And then by age 25, I can't remember, man. I put it all in the email. At age 25, is that when we went home? Where he was able to not re-enlist?
I turned 25 4 months after I got out. So
yeah, he was able to not re-enlist in the military because
I was already 25 because I turned 26 last year.
Yeah, he was able to not.
You drink Starless drink.
Not have to. I know, right?
She makes out with me anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm married. I mean, come on. But anyway, germ time. At age 25, we were able to have him be able to. He didn't have to re-enlist in the military. Most of you know that he has really severe back problems from his job, and I didn't want him to have to stay doing, working a strenuous job where he had to get up and do PT and all of that. So he didn't have to re-enlist. We were able to move home to Ohio, where our daughter finally got to meet her family, at which time she was 5 years old. And then last year, he was able to quit his day job because after the military, he worked tech support and absolutely hated it. Like, if you've ever called in to talk to a tech support agent for like internet service, just think about how those people get talked to all day by customers, and you know how he was talked to. So, and the fact that he was a veteran, and it's just like they were completely unaware that he was a veteran, you know, and they just talked so much crap to him. To me, it was degrading. It was awful. I didn't want that life for him. So I
usually with tech support, you don't get a lot of variation. It's mostly just bad because it's either people that have no idea what they're doing or people that think they know what they're doing, and they both hate you.
Yeah.
Because it's your fault their internet's broke. So
right.
How far did you move? I don't well, we went from California to Ohio.
3,000 members.
West Coast to East Coast.
From one side of the United States to the other side of the United States.
3,000 members.
Or miles. Members.
I don't think it's quite that far, but
one side of the United States to the other side of the United States. So
states are confusing. Yeah. We ask pretty much like 99% of Americans. Most of them can't name more than like 10 states. So don't feel bad. They are confusing.
I get confused.
Let alone know where they are.
I get confused like right in the middle, which is funny because I've seen all of those states. We've driven back and forth twice, and I still like get confused. I'm like, what is?
That was clearly an exaggeration. Don't take that seriously either, because I know somebody's going to comment like, I know more than 10.
All right, guys. So let's talk about 5 things that most people don't know when it comes to full-time selling on Etsy, because I think that is ultimately one of the biggest dreams that you have when you start an Etsy shop. Everyone says, I'm going to start an Etsy shop and I'm going to get famous and I'm never going to work again and screw my job and screw my boss and I'm just going to live this happy, magical life. And most of you know that probably isn't the case, but I want to kind of reveal some of the things that I wasn't aware of when I decided I was going to make that like my goal, and some of the things that you should be aware of before you run off and quit your day job. Because we had one alpha. If she's here, I'm sorry if I'm calling you out. You don't have to like speak up, but we had one alpha who talked about quitting her job and selling her car, or maybe it was selling her car to join the Handmade Alpha Academy because she wanted to use that money to enroll. And I was like, don't put yourself in like a position where you're going to be stuck. Basically,
it's not all butterflies and rainbows, yo. Don't put yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
It's rough. So sometimes you got to live that ramen noodle life, the nude life.
Don't run off and quit your day job before you know that you've got like everything down, everything planned. You have to have, like plans in place. So first thing that you guys should know, number 1 of 5, most people have this vision in their heads that they're gonna quit their day job and they're gonna have all this free time and everything is gonna be great. However, what they don't realize is once you rely on your Etsy income 100%, you actually work a lot longer. And it's different
until you can afford to hire help.
Right. It's different because say that, I get sick one day. I do have the choice to take a break. That is like a definite perk. I can take a break anytime that I want. However, there will be some days where you're working, 16 hours straight. I've been living the 16-hour straight life for the last 4 months now. So that it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me, but trust me, the first few times that you have to work like a week of consecutive 16-hour days, it really freaking stinks. So owning your own business does not necessarily mean more time. It means that you have to prioritize your time and focus on the things that are most important. So just don't do it with this expectation that you're just going to have all this time and there's going to be constant vacations and you're going to be able to do everything that you want. Because right now my entire house is a wreck. My yard is a wreck. Everything is a wreck. And most full-time sellers that I know say the exact same thing. Everything's a wreck and they can't wait to hire help because they've taken on so much. So when you're not relying on that income, you can there's like areas that you could slack off for a few days. You don't have to be in front of your computer 24/7. But when you know that like your Etsy success is life or death and you might not eat if you're not working, then yeah, it becomes almost like it becomes almost like a cage that you have to learn to love. So that would be the first thing, because when I started my business, I had this dream that I was just going to have like all this free time, and I was going to be able to do all these crafts with my daughter, and it was going to be Pinterest life, and everything was going to be clean and neat and organized, and I was just going to be super mom. And then in reality, like, I would just sit in front of my desk with like my hair sticking straight up in the air, and my makeup would be like 6 days old because I wouldn't wash it off.
She gets up and does her makeup special for y'all.
I do. I get up and do my makeup pretty.
I tell her not to worry about it, but
that I don't really have eyebrows. So, but anyway, guys, that is hey, that's how my daughter became my business partner. She was helping me so much, it just made sense. And it's the best thing ever could have happened. Yes, and I can't wait until my daughter is able to help me. She's 6 right now, so I don't trust her touching the jewelry.
A lot of people saying they're super busy. That's the thing, man. Like, that's the trade-off for not having to work for some douchebag. I mean, it really is. Like, you have to work significant hours. I know Domestic Platypus said, sometimes 20 plus hours a day. Yeah. I mean, 16 is probably about an average for her. It's about to go down because obviously we're about to actually launch the course, but
right. But then I can focus more time into my Etsy shop, and there's a lot of growth that I even still want to do. Like, I have been slacking so hard in my Etsy shop and my marketing, but I had to get this course done for you guys. So I worry that people will go to my social media on my Art by Starla Moore page and be like, wow,
she's a liar. She doesn't practice what she preaches. She does. She just hasn't had the time for it right now. We're actually suffering in that business because of it. So be happy.
But after that, you best believe that my next Art by Starla Moore launch is going to be freaking huge. It's going to be massive. But anyway, guys, so that's the first thing that I really wish that I would have known. The second biggest thing, and this is probably the most important, when it comes to owning your own business, especially with Etsy and especially with niche products, you have to expect off seasons. Like right now, everyone's freaking out in all the forums and all the Facebook groups saying, oh, my sales are down. Is anybody else seeing this? Anybody else? Anybody else's sales down? Oh my goodness, my sales are down. It must be Etsy. When in reality, for those who have been around for years and years and years, like we have, this is off season, like now until fall.
For some people, not for everybody.
Right. Well, if you sell like bikinis right now,
clothes,
yeah, this is your
pillows, candles, all that kind of stuff is kind of a year-round thing. You should still see a spike in the holidays though, because Christmas and all that. Hanukkah, whatever.
So when you plan to be a full-time seller, if you have a great day where you make a butt ton of money, it's not like, yay, let's go out to dinner. We're going to go to a 5-star restaurant. It's okay, cool. We made quite a bit of money. Now, if we don't make money for the next month, how can we ration this money out to last us? And that is the absolute hardest part, because we'll release a collection and make like $4,000 to $5,000 in an hour, which is great.
Woohoo, new TV.
But we don't run off and spend it all. We got to budget that and use it for the next like few months while I work on a new collection.
Because what have we been doing recently? Quarterly launches?
Quarterly. Yeah, I had to.
We had to kind of back down to quarterly launches. So,
just for now, though.
So it's usually like 3 months of living.
Yeah. So you have to be able to budget that money out and do that with off seasons in mind. For most of us, summer is an off season because people are out. They're out partying. They're going to the beach. They're drinking. Everyone is having fun, but no one's in their house buying crap online. It's just kind of the way that things work. But when fall rolls around, everyone's indoors, everyone's staying warm, and everyone is suddenly doing all of their shopping for those of us who are in warmer climates right now.
Said rationing, and if you don't, you're screwed.
It is.
I mean, we've been to that point where we'll have to buy good food for our kid, and we live on cheap frozen pizzas and ramen noodles. We've been there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's obviously we always make sure our kids well fed, but we've been there.
Right, exactly.
I think skincare and Easter almost killed me. 16 hours a day. Yep. Our Christmas before I got out of the military, luckily I didn't really have to work much because I was out processing.
Oh, yeah.
That one was like straight 16 hours a day. both of us tag teaming packing orders all day, every day for 2 weeks.
That's how this last Black Friday was
oh
too,
my
though.
God,
How many?
No,
How many sales did we have on Black Friday?
I don't remember. Something stupid.
We shipped like 500 keys or something ridiculous.
God, yeah, it was pretty much our whole shop.
All right.
Ramen noodles and rolling pennies for gas in there. Yep, I think we all have.
Yeah, definitely.
Part of life.
All right. So thing number 3, and just so everyone's aware, like we're okay. We're not.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good now. We're telling you, like, when you prepare to quit your job, expect that. So thing number 3. This is such a big one for me. You cannot be one of those Etsy cynics who sits around and thinks Etsy's out to get you and Etsy won't send me traffic. And Etsy, why are you doing this to me, Etsy? Why aren't you taking care of me? Etsy's responsibility is not to take care of you, though they do a lot to help us market. They give us, new features, all these new coupon features that I'm testing. I'll let you guys know how those tests go once I have more time. But yes, Etsy does help us. But Etsy is our landlord. And ultimately, any successful Etsy shop that you see where people are living from their Etsy shop, they're doing external marketing too. You cannot rely solely on Etsy SEO and organic traffic to be successful.
No way. Not unless you get real. Like, there's some really lucky people that have a very specific niche and there's like nobody else that sells what they sell. That's like the only other like exclusion from that.
80%. You might want to write this down. Quit squeaking that. Sure. Oh, it needs oiled. 80% of your sales should come from 20% of your fans, which means you have to have repeat customers. And if you don't have those repeat customers in an email list where you can contact them all the time, or in a Facebook group, or even just following you on social media, they're going to forget about you. So they won't be a repeat customer. You have to hook them and get them where you can keep them. So
why did no one nominate me to do the ice bucket challenge? Is it something personal? What are you talking about? I think you're in the wrong live stream, yeah.
Where did
DJ Donnelly there?
Sorry, DJ Donnelly.
Sorry, nobody nominated you.
I nominate you. Go now.
That was probably dumb. Now he's probably going to post something.
Go dump water on your head.
Don't solve your ST item specifics to the same holiday season. Well, yeah, you got a theme stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I see that all the time. So we have to take responsibility. Absolutely. Yes, you have to be accountable for your own traffic. Etsy is ultimately your landlord. And a lot of people get mad at me because they're like, we pay listing fees and we do this. Yeah, you got to pay fees for everything. You got to pay fees for eBay too. eBay doesn't advertise for you. Why should Etsy? You're paying fees no matter where you're selling. Etsy just happens to give us really great tools that we can use that are included in that fee. But eBay or any other selling platform is going to charge you a very similar price. It just comes with the territory. And I mean, ultimately, there's like no one.
Plugging my phone in, yeah.
Oh, there's no huge Etsy sellers out there that aren't influencing their traffic through exterior means. It's not. I mean, I'm sure I'm not going to say it's not possible because there might be one out there, but for the vast majority of us, it's going to be very difficult to be able to gain that raving following of people who buy and buy and buy over again when you don't have an external influence. So controlling your traffic and not solely relying on Etsy, and not being an Etsy cynic where you're constantly asking, why me? Oh, woe is me. You have to be accountable for everything, including the things that you cannot control.
The universe doesn't know you a thing.
No, the universe.
You gotta work for what you get. And even if you work, sometimes stuff happens. It's still a lot of, like, 90% of business is out of your control.
Can you get rid of DJ Donnelly? I think that.
Okay, I'll just leave since I know where I'm not wanted. Are you high? Are you like one of our fans, but you're tripping balls right now? What is going on?
Was someone mean to DJ Donnelly?
Was somebody mean to you?
Who hurt you?
We're gonna have a bunch of people leave soon. Blah, blah, blah. Message retracted.
All right, guys. I don't know what's going on. This happens.
He just took like 10 hits of acid and he's just
For those of you who weren't here a few weeks ago, we had someone pop in who thought that we were drug dealers because they thought Etsy was slang for ecstasy, but they
God, yeah.
They said that we were the coolest drug dealers ever. So I'm like, well, at least they were a polite drug dealer. Anyway,
I'm just joking, trying to get a reaction out of you guys for fun. Well, that's cool, but this is our business coaching live stream, so.
So hi.
So welcome. Stay and learn some stuff about selling on Etsy or being a business owner.
Yeah, you could.
Maybe you could start your own business.
You could be a professional crafter.
You can't sell your acid on there.
You could make necklaces
You
and
could.
make and all kinds of pretty things. All right. What was your most effective marketing that resulted in sales when you first started selling your keys? My most effective marketing was connecting with customers and taking an interest in them, not just about my products and selling, but about the things that meant a lot to them deep down, because people tend to be shy when it comes to you marketing towards them. It comes off as pushy or even offensive to the ear. But when you begin talking to them about the things that matter to them, like the things that they're interested in, the books that they read, the movies they watch, and you spike up those conversations, you can then take those themes that you see consistently and create products that really speak to them. That way you don't have to push like what you like. It's not all about, what you like and what you like to make. It's about what they want and what they want to buy.
Show us on the doll where.
All right.
Oh my God, you guys are vicious.
This is you guys. This isn't even us.
I'm not even doing it this time. I'm chill. I'm tired, so I'm chill today.
Why do we always get the hate in the replay comments?
Just
All right.
Make one of those songs where it's nothing but curse words, and I'll just sing it on here.
Did you have these conversations on Instagram, Facebook, etc.? Yes, social media in general. I actually did not have an Instagram until my second year of business. So
I think Instagram didn't come out until the end of your first year of business.
No,
Instagram's a relatively new thing.
Yeah. So
as far as popularity,
right? So
I'm leaving AHM. Sales are okay, but the fees and expectations are. Oh, Etsy Amazon Handmade.
Oh yeah, I've heard a lot of people who are
fees and expectations are ridiculous. You got to consider that Amazon's like one of the biggest corporate companies in the United States, if not the world.
I stopped selling there
just keep
too.
in mind.
So anyway, okay, what was I gonna say? I lost it. Okay, I remember now. So thing number 4. I know we're getting off topic with our numbers. You guys are throwing me off.
Holy crap! We just had like 40 people join.
Welcome. 40 people. So thing number 4 of 5 that you should be aware of if you want to quit your day job is that you have to be willing to let go of what you want to do and what you like to do. And these don't sell, but I like making them because they're pretty and I enjoy it. That's great. Like do that as a hobby, or do that if you don't plan to sell full time. But if you do plan to sell full time, sometimes you got to make crap that you don't want to make because it's what your customers want. And if you are creating products that your target market, your target customers want, you're going to be successful. For example, my biggest was that I began, and most of you know this story already, but I got really popular in the pagan community just out of nowhere. All of my like dragon product and my fairies and everything really, really blew up. And all of these different pagan Facebook pages started sharing me, which was fantastic. I was making tons of sales. And I found like a niche that I was really popular in. So I enjoyed that, but I'm not pagan. And it wasn't that I didn't like making the products for them. I mean, I really did. I loved it. But it wasn't my original vision, like my business vision. I was going to make keys that were like steampunk and gears and stuff. That didn't go over as well because that niche is really saturated right now. The pentacles and the goddesses and all of my dragons and fantasy and fairies and crystals, that all went over really well. So it wasn't necessarily what I had initially wanted to make because I wanted to do all the steampunk and the gears and things. But I had to change direction based on what was doing well and what a majority of my target market wanted. And to this day, they're still my biggest customers. So you have to let go of the things that aren't selling and the things that aren't doing well and not make that like an excuse to quit. Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, my crocheted washcloths are selling, so no one likes me and I just need to give up on Etsy. No, crochet something else, find something else that you can sell. You won't truly fail until you decide to give up. So that's thing number 4. Don't,
Or you go bankrupt.
yeah, that too.
That I would call a failure. But failures are good. It's part of life.
Dragonfly Unlimited. Starla, good point. My bestsellers are not my favorites to make, but it's not about me. That's true. My bestsellers are a pain in the freaking butt to make. Some of my bestsellers, I hate making them, to be perfectly honest. I hate it, but I hate it because they take a lot of time and they're really hard to make, but those are the items that my fans want. So those are the items that I ultimately have to keep making for them because they love it. And it's what's making my business successful. What do we have?
Marina Vushkovic. Sorry, I don't know how to use those little symbols on the letters there. I think it's Vushkovic. I'm a new shop, 6 months, and I get the impression that SEO was more effective for beginners back when you started. Now we need to kickstart our sales in other ways, external marketing. Am I right? No.
Well, somewhat.
I mean, you should start marketing right away, but you should also keep up with your SEO or your SEO indefinitely. Like you should never just stop doing SEO.
Right. SEO, what you need to do, what most sellers do is they go and tweak their SEO. And then they check and they're like, wow, nothing happened. SEO takes like 30 days to even register on Etsy. As in, if you make those changes, you're not going to see anything good come of it until after that 30-day mark. And that's when you can begin testing. So a realistic test period is closer to 60 days. When it comes to the actual strength of SEO, what you said somewhat is true, because creating bestsellers and products that are selling repeatedly that Etsy can see, are selling repeatedly, that's going to help your overall SEO strength. So yes, it is really important to market externally, but those are two gears that work together. You've got your external marketing where people are coming directly to your shop and they're buying products and you're establishing bestsellers, and those bestsellers are going to help your overall SEO strength. So it's not that SEO isn't achievable when you're new. You can still establish that SEO foundation, which is extremely important. You have to have the foundation and a lot of time in order for that foundation to grow. So it's good to lay the groundwork down in the early days, focus on external marketing. Don't just sit around on your butt wondering why your SEO isn't working. Focus on some external marketing and then watch as your SEO strength builds a little bit. So Handmade Alpha Academy is going to have an entire 6-step formula that it's really long. It's like too complicated to even explain. I've got like videos and diagrams and all this ridiculous stuff, but it goes over like step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this. And it teaches you exactly how I get my bestsellers onto page 1 for their search results. So,
and we beta tested it on how many shops?
A bunch, like all of our beta testers.
Worked on every single one of them.
Yeah.
So
we'll.
How often do you tweak your SEO?
Me? I don't.
Needed.
As needed.
Yeah, Rosabella asked that. Only as needed.
Yeah,
Which is once you get it nailed down and you feel like it's strong, you'll probably never have, unless it's like a seasonal thing.
I haven't tweaked you don't even need to do that. I haven't tweaked
I'm talking about like the terms. If something is like specifically for winter and everything is SEO for winter or something, then you might just have to like leave that alone still, because you won't want to list that in the summer anyway.
Right.
But,
you only want
but for the most part, you don't really have to change it very often.
Yeah, and you can use a tool like etsyrank.com to see your SEO grade. If your SEO grade is good, then just leave it alone for a while.
You got some juicy SEO details for Etsy and HA. Shush.
Jacqueline might
shut your mouth.
Jacqueline, we've already announced that Jacqueline.
I know, I was joking.
We've already announced that Jacqueline is beta. Jacqueline already has a 6-figure business. I didn't think that she needed any of my help.
Personal details just out there for everybody.
She agreed. She said it out loud last time.
So Jacqueline, the terms and conditions, awesome. We have your social, I have your credit cards. All right, next question.
Kidding.
Cheryl, I'm having issues with our processing time. We need 2 to 4 weeks to order custom fabrics, but my sales are only happening with the blankets that have a process time of 1 to 3 days. Suggestions? Everything in your shop, just like she teaches, should be scalable.
Right.
So if you're not able to keep up with the times, then
you should have a variety of products in that case. Like,
yeah, you should have some that are readily available.
Pre-made,
and then have custom listings.
Yeah, pre-made My custom listings take 2 months for custom orders. So, and they people line up for those. So there are people who are ready to shop right now, don't want to wait, but there will be a market for people who want something more custom. So have both if that's the route that you want to take. Because there are people who want what they want and they want it now. If I see that processing time is 3 to 4 weeks, I probably won't order either, but
unless it's something I really need.
Yeah, unless it's something I really need or something that I really want or something that I'm getting made specifically for me. If I was getting like a giant handmade alpha plaque for the wall and they had to custom make it, yeah, I would be willing to do that. But if I was just buying a couch pillow and I just wanted to grab one real quick on Etsy, I would probably just buy one that would ship to me that, same week. So you need to make sure that you've got that variety established so you can appeal to both types of people, because there are going to be types of people who want the custom item that they're willing to wait for.
Domestic Platypus also said, also try to find a quicker turnaround on custom fabrics if you can. Even if a higher price, and adjust your prices accordingly. There are companies that can get them to you in 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, for sure. 2 to 4 weeks is a really long time for custom fabrics, because most of the time they're just on a spool that they cut them off and ship them to you. So 2 to 4 weeks is kind of ridiculous, unless you're having like a special color made and all that kind of stuff. Does putting our shop on vacation affect SEO rank on Etsy?
There's a lot of speculation. However, what really everyone thinks that it's it's vacation mode that's kind of making your visibility decrease. It's not putting it on vacation mode. It's overall lack of activity. So lack of sales, lack of, changes, lack of movement within your shop. But bouncing back is not a big deal. So putting your shop on vacation mode, it might slightly decrease it, but you'll bounce right back. You just have to continue business as usual when you return from vacation mode. So there's a lack of visitors, there's a lack of sales, there's a lack of activity taking place.
It might take a little while for your shop to get back up,
but not very long.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks at most.
Yeah.
You should prepare for if you're going on vacation mode, you should, if you're going on vacation mode for a week, you should plan to have like that week plus a month of no profits. You still will probably make a couple of sales when you come off vacation mode. I just think it's best to plan at least a month.
Market externally. It'll help. It'll bring people into your shop again. That
and
way
keep
you
people
can
in the loop and why you're putting it on vacation mode. Because if you're putting it on vacation mode for no reason, that's dumb. If you're going on vacation, that's another story. But if you're going on vacation for like a week, I still probably wouldn't put it on vacation mode. I'd probably just extend the shipping periods for your products.
Ashley, I know this is more for handmade shops, but do you have any tips for vintage sellers? Define tips.
Yeah, what do you want to know, dog?
Tips about what? You gotta be a little bit more specific. So type some specific questions.
Oh, here's a tip. Spinach is healthier than lettuce.
Yeah, it is. Type a specific question down below, and I will get to it after we do our fifth, number 5, our 5th truth about selling full time on Etsy, because I know that we've been taking forever to get through
voodoo
this.
magic.
Spinach is so good.
Spinach is so good. Yeah, so, she don't like it cooked. I think it's best cooked.
I don't like it
cooked with a little bit of white vinegar, a little bit of salt.
Come on, dog. We're getting off topic.
I don't care. We got 30 minutes, yo.
All right. So thing number 5, like Dr. Seuss, thing 5, it's the lost thing. You have to be willing to look at the long term when it comes to your business. Now, what most sellers do is they get married to an idea. Like, I have to make this because this is all I'm good at. And if for any reason this doesn't sell, I'm going to give up because no one wants it. When in reality, the businesses who succeed have usually gone through a process of several different ideas. So for example, I technically started out in middle school selling little sewn pillows that I made and beaded pony bead geckos. But I started out on Etsy selling a bunch of junk, first of all, that I made, and none of it sold. And then I started selling hemp jewelry, and that didn't sell. I think I made one sale to a friend. Slow down on your
questions, y'all. We still got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there, we promise.
Calm down.
You're triggering him.
Not really.
No, you're fine.
I'm just tired.
We'll catch up.
Too much reading. Shut up for a minute.
Don't.
Love you guys.
We'll scroll back down in a minute. Don't worry. We'll get to you. Anyway, I started selling hemp jewelry. That didn't sell. And then I started selling tattoo designs where I would take like commissions for tattoo designs. And those sold really well. Like I made like $500, I think, off of one singular design. But the problem with that was that it took me hours and hours and hours. And then someone would submit a change, or they'd say, hey, you know, I like it, but can you change this? Can you change that? And then I'd have to go in and edit everything over again. And it was a real big pain in the butt. So I ended up giving that up too, even though I was good at it, because it wasn't scalable. And then I moved on to my keys. And in between making keys, I've tried to make bracelets. I've tried to make earrings. I've tried to make chokers. I've tried to make handbags. And ultimately, the thing that always sold were the skeleton key necklaces. So I didn't get married to any of my other ideas. And I didn't assume that a failure was an overall business failure. Because when you're looking at the long term, like think about the fact that it takes most businesses 5 years to really take off. And then think about your tiny little crisis, your tiny little identity crisis, where you think, oh, no one likes this product. If I would have given up back when I was 19 years old and trying to sell my hemp jewelry on Etsy, I would not be here today. I would not be living this life today. I did not get married to the idea, and I didn't take it personally. I said to myself, okay, this isn't working. What else can I do? And now that I have a little bit of marketing know-how, I could probably make the hemp jewelry business like successful. So make sure that you have all of the aesthetics fixed first. Make sure that you have like everything else down before you make that decision, because a lot of times you have a great product. We have sellers who have amazing product, but they're lacking in photography and all these other elements, in which case it doesn't matter what you sell. You could be selling, pure gold nuggets, and they might not actually sell if you don't have the aesthetics and the branding and the authority down first, because people don't trust you. And those are the things that are going to ultimately make you successful no matter what you sell. I make a joke that I could market. Jacqueline's here in the comments. She should tell you. I did a mock collection launch for a Cheez-It in the Handmade Alpha Academy, and I actually made like a professional photo shoot of a Cheez-It.
We had to do it
to prove.
We had to take pictures of that Cheez-It twice
to prove
because
that
she left it on her desk overnight and forgot to take the pictures, and my cat ate it. So we had to find another intact, perfect Cheeto. Or it wasn't a Cheeto, Cheez-It. Yeah,
Cheez-It, like a Cheez-It cracker. So
best looking Cheez-It ever.
It was so beautiful.
Make anything look good.
It was a beautiful Cheez-It. But I could, if you were to put me on Etsy right now with my Cheez-It collection, what did I call it? I think I called it the Cheddar collection. I could sell that Cheez-It based on my brand authority. I thought about even making like a mock shop, but I don't know if it's against Etsy's terms of service. So
I think that's illegal because that's not your product.
Yeah, Cheez-It, you're right.
Yeah,
but I wasn't
just the Cheez-It, list it for like $10,000.
Yeah.
See if somebody buys it. That would be legit.
Buy my Cheez-It.
10 grand Cheez-It.
So anyway.
Where's the cat? They're both upstairs because one's in heat.
Yeah, again.
She won't shut up.
We're getting her spayed, just for everyone. And the mail is fixed. I thought that we would be nice and leave her intact.
I'll buy your Cheez-It. You could just send me 10 grand and I'll buy you a bag of Cheez-Its.
Yeah, a bag.
I'll buy you a crate of Cheez-Its if you send me $10,000.
There you go. $10,000 for Cheez-Its. Or you could just go
How old are you now?
26.
And 27.
Yes.
That's your name is Random Reviews. It just scares me when people do that. I'm assuming you probably have your own YouTube channel too. Anyway.
All right, let's get to questions, guys.
This is the one that asked about vintage. Would SEO work the same? Yes and no.
Okay, so
like the overall SEO, yes, but I mean you have to keep in mind that your listings don't continue with age. Like you won't continue to sell the same product over and over as a vintage shop.
Right.
So you lose that as a benefit.
What I would recommend for vintage sellers, I have two like mini tips. I am going to be, I don't know if I'm going to have a course I want to create a course for both one of a kind sellers and vintage sellers, because Handmade Alpha Academy won't be right for you. Just throwing that out there. Please don't enroll. You will not get the full benefit from it. But if you're a vintage seller, my 2 tips for you: for one, try to find the same products and I know that's hard, but for example, if you are a vintage shop that only sold Pyrex, old vintage Pyrex, because that is a huge like collectible, you could find the actual product code or the specific type of Pyrex dish. Maybe it's like a little blue bowl, and you could scour the internet or scour thrift shops.
Most of the time you can just look up like the model number or the lot number or something similar to that and see what people are pricing it at.
Do your best to try to find the same product, and then in the descriptions put, that maybe something about the one that you receive might differ slightly, or just have variations. That way they know that they might not be getting the specific one in the photo. But you just want to make sure that you are trying your best, if possible, to get similar items so you can still build a cohesive theme. For example, a Pyrex shop. Don't just make it a junk store with like everything. And then my second tip for vintage sellers is to make sure that you're using the specific name, like the catalog name and even the product number in your title. Because if you're selling something that's collectible, and you might not even know that what you have is collectible, like Pyrex, for example, you might not know that there's someone out there. There's a little old lady out there who rocks back and forth, trying to scour the internet for a specific Pyrex dish. And she's willing to pay thousands of dollars for it to complete her collection. And you just happen to have that pink Pyrex bowl that she's been searching all her life for.
But she's really crappy at looking stuff up, so you need to make sure your SEO is on point. Right.
So you got to make sure that you have because she wants like the exact name. It is the Pyrex 6000 pink edition 1972 blah blah blah. That's the type of SEO that you need to do. So research the product that you're selling. Make sure you know what it's called so that you can market it effectively. Okay.
Okay, now that passed. See, Orchidia, last month I put my shop in vacation mode for 1 week and it affected SEO, so I didn't have any sales for 2 weeks. Yeah, that sucks. It happens. It takes 2 to 3 weeks to get it going back up.
Right. That's why during that time, you want to focus on driving traffic to your shop after vacation mode. So market externally, like on social media, get people to go directly to your shop. And once they start buying again, Etsy's going to detect that activity.
Spinach and everything. I like spinach in my smoothies. It's not a smoothie if it has a vegetable in it. It's it's a soup. It's a soup. Once you add a vegetable ground up into a liquid or cut up into a liquid, it is a soup.
A strawberry and banana soup.
Yep. If there's spinach in it, it's a soup. That's how my hubs eats his. I like it raw. Me too.
I don't want to tell a divorce story about why I divorced my husband because he said that
it's soup.
Said that.
What was the other thing that I said was another thing a few weeks ago?
A soup.
No, there was another thing that a lot of people disagreed with me about. Well, water's not wet. Water's not wet. What's the other thing?
What's the other thing?
There's another thing that I said too.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Type it in the comments.
I only post like 5 things a year on Facebook. I could probably find it real quick. I'm not going to worry about it. Try it with cream cheese and mozzarella sauce and sauteed spinach. I am imagining you're probably from America because that sounds delicious. Let's see here. What types of activities should I be doing in my shop to keep it active if I'm not getting sales and I don't have new listings to add super frequently? I crochet, so items take a while to make and list.
So when I say be active in your shop, I don't just mean change things around for the sake of changing it. What I like to do to keep my shop kind of active and show a bit of activity, for one, driving external traffic helps. But for two, what I like to do is in my shop announcement, which, you click read more and it opens up. In my shop announcement, I like to edit that frequently with whatever, well, I'm not doing it right now because I've been busy, but whatever collection that I'm, showcasing, or if I'm working on something new, I like to talk about that in my shop announcement, and I update that, maybe on like a monthly or bi-monthly basis, just to kind of show a bit of activity.
Random reviews, another message like that. I'm kicking you out of live stream. Thank you.
What'd they say?
Do you still have sex?
Yes.
shut up. Like, yeah, maybe
We have a
maybe
kid.
maybe in another 40 years, no, but like right
40?
now, yeah. I don't
Another
know.
40? That would make us 40.
67. I will be 67. I'm not gonna want to do you at that age. Anyway, let's get on to the next thing.
What are you guys doing to us? Stop leaving these
Stop
comments.
with that.
Stop it. Our virgin ears are burning, and all of our audience
And then
is just
Dragonfly in the
appalled.
middle of when I told everybody to shut up. I don't really have anything to say. I'm just being a rebel.
Mm.
You're gonna hear from my lawyer. How can I be successful seller on Etsy? What are the key points? Watch our videos, please. That's the same one that asked us if we still have sex. So I'm not going to answer that. Had to go powwow booth mentality where I had to fill up the booth with anything I create to try to rein it down to what it's being called for.
Yeah, and Linda Sue, you create such amazing products. So focus, like for example, the wolf pendants, you said that they were really popular. I personally love them. So focus on making a bunch of those, and don't just like, if you've got something that's selling well,
okay,
post it frequently.
Reviews. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I'm in the right one. Yes, I'm very horny. Shut up.
God.
I'm 27. That's my existence. Fuck you.
Are we gonna have to delete this stream because the spammers are getting
user in timeout?
Bye bye.
And then hide user on this channel.
Hi.
Bye. You can still watch, but you can't comment anymore because you're a dirty boy.
I hope anyone didn't see any of that. Of course, they're gonna hear it.
I don't really care.
You know what's bad is we get all the comments of people getting like when they watch the replay, they're like, "Oh, you guys are so inappropriate." I'm like, "Wait, did you see the comments? Really? We're inappropriate?"
A lot of
Come
people
on.
saying they can't wait for the one of a kind course. That's going to be a little bit because we just finished this one, and she needs a freaking break and a vacation. So we're probably going to do that about a month or two after the course launches. Go take us a nice little vacation.
16 hours a day for like 4 months straight is...
Go up to Detroit, crack out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No, we're not.
We're going to fly somewhere and do something I don't want to do, but she does because she did all the work.
I want to go to Gatlinburg. I just want to go to Gatlinburg.
Well, that's like a 10-hour drive.
I don't want to go that far. Anyway, yeah, the one-of-a-kind thing will be coming later.
Any tips for a full-time Etsy seller balancing work and life? I enjoy what I do, but I find myself working all the time. Get used to working all the time.
Yeah, but you know,
find a way to enjoy it. Make it positive.
I mean, I understand not having the time for things.
Jam some tunes, yo.
Not having the time for things. What I recommend doing is setting work hours and holding yourself accountable to those work hours. For example, not including me working on the Handmade Alpha Academy, but normally with my Etsy shop, I work from the morning, when my kid goes to school, and I stop working at 6:30 at night. So that's like when I tell myself I have to be done no matter what. So just hold yourself accountable and make sure that you give yourself at least one day off, because if you don't give yourself that day off, you're just going to get burned out and you're going to learn to hate it.
Veronica Markham, I think we've answered a question like this several times, just not today. I'm considering changing my store name. Is it a PIA to change the name, or better to start a whole new shop?
Just go ahead and if you don't have any sales yet, just go ahead and change your name.
Ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt you at all. Just change your name. Don't worry about making a new shop.
I have my shop on Sharon. I have my shop on vacation mode while I'm getting it set up. How much will that affect?
Not at all. You haven't started.
Yeah, you haven't started. So I mean, that whole 2-week thing isn't.
Yeah, you're not. It's not going to
take about that long for your SEO to kick. It takes about 30 days for your SEO to kick in anyway.
You probably don't have any SEO in place anyway yet. So it's a smoothie. I agree.
No, it's a soup.
No, it's a LOL soup.
It's a soup. Once you put a vegetable in it, it's a soup.
Yes, amen, Mark. Oh, come on.
Especially y'all that are putting like celery and lettuce and kale. That's a soup.
Not a soup.
Throw some mushrooms in there, a little bit of cream. It's a soup.
It's a fruit soup.
Soup. Oh, stop.
Fruit soup.
Amen, Mark. Soup. Also look for the weird stuff that makes you wonder what the hell it is. If you can identify them on the market, right, they're worth money.
That's true, domestic platypus. You know what I bought a couple, my mom bought it for me for my birthday in February. It was a glass eye, like a human, like prosthetic eye from the 40s. And I had been looking for a glass eye that was like affordable forever, because glass eyes, like medical old school glass eyes, are very expensive. And we were able to find one. And I was so excited because I love medical oddities. So yeah, that's an obscure thing that people will pay a lot of money for.
Smoothie. Ashley said marriage is an old way of doing things. Marriage is pointless. Holy crap. See a counselor. Are we trying to narrow down Mark's disagreeability? Yes.
I love being married to him.
You mentioned it's important to have return customers. According to Google Analytics, 88% of customers are new customers. How would you get people to be return customers? That's not true for our shop.
The rule of thumb is 80%. I mean, unless you're in the wedding industry.
That's a Google Analytics. That's broad.
Yeah.
That's covering like every single thing, unless you did it like a narrow search or something. But
right,
that's going to vary in every industry.
Repeat customers. What I recommend doing for repeat customers is making sure, for one, that you have established branding so that they can remember you. For two, making sure that you have some type of funnel to keep them in, whether it be a Facebook group or an email list where you can trap them so that they don't forget about you and you're accessible to them. And then number three for repeat customers is just giving them a good experience when they buy from you the first time. Make sure that you are messaging them when you receive the order, when you ship their order. If they leave you a review, make sure to thank them and be genuine. And don't try to be too businessy. Like when I talk to my customers, I just talk the way that I talk to you guys now. I'm not like, hello, greetings, buyer. Thank you so much for your purchase. I don't talk like that. I type the way that I talk, and it makes people say, wow, Starla, you're so realistic and normal. And as Renee Christine says, you're so real. So that has gotten me farther than ever talking like a corporate company. And that's going to help you build a fan base that wants to buy from you over and over again.
Hey, I'm 53. I'm Wolf is 60. We still kick it. I don't care. Great, another old. Another old white male. I'm not old, unless you're talking about somebody else. Thanks for the clarification on being active. I keep forgetting to modify that area unless I'm going to sale. You're welcome. Been married 42 years. I'll let you know when we stop. Please don't. My mom used to say, okay. I'm trying to get through to some actual questions. Is the one of a kind included in the academy? Not yet.
No.
We plan
a different course.
No promises, but we plan to make one of those in the future for vintage. It'll be probably a lot of the same content, just with the stuff that isn't relevant to you taken out and stuff added that is relevant to you. So it'll be mostly the same course, I would imagine.
Right. It's going to be very similar, but there's going to be a lot of it catered specifically to one of a kind, because you can't use, like, for example, Renee Christine's product line formula. You can't use that when you do one of a kind. You can't build bestsellers, so you have to rely on other things. And I do have one of a kind products that sell. I think that my best selling one of a kind design, it was like $1,000, wasn't it? It auctioned.
I wasn't even paying attention. I was reading comments.
Best selling one of a kind product auctioned at like $1,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So you can actually charge more. There's a lot of great perks to selling one of a kind, but it's harder. And it's harder to get established, and it's harder to be viewed as a professional. You have to market yourself as an artisan if you're going to go one of a kind. So we'll try to do a course on that like later down the road.
Why are you letting him decide how this channel goes? I'm not. See, we do this thing called banter, and I read the comments. And sometimes I answer them and sometimes she answers them. Otherwise, there would be no reason for me to be here. And we co-run this business. She's the mastermind behind it. I'm the tech guy.
And I love him.
And I'm also really smart. And we do the dirty. So shut up.
By the way, guys,
she totally deserves a vacation. Hell yeah, she does.
Thank you.
And Linda said, if you come to Tennessee, let me know. We may.
You're not that far. She's not that far away from us.
No, you're not. My uncle lives down there, and you live in Tennessee, so I'm sure you're a good cook.
Love Gatlinburg. Take weekends off. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so
trying to get to an action.
Is it Dana or Dana? Feel free to tell me down below.
Donna.
Do you all believe everything you sell needs to fill a need? I'm working on a product line. The items don't fill a need. They're just pretty and fun. Every item fills a need.
It fills somebody's need.
Right. And you have to think that there's a difference between a selfish need and a like a need, like you have to have it. For example, my necklaces don't solve any problems. They're just pretty, but they do fill a need because I've associated a feeling with them. I assigned a purpose to that product. So it's no longer these aren't the necklaces I sell, by the way. My shop link is down below. But they don't fill a specific need. They fill a selfish need, and not selfish as a bad thing, but selfish as in a self-centered or a self-focused need. My customer buys one of my key necklaces because they want to wear a physical representation.
Ashley Escond is spammer. Blue eyes come from incest. So you're gonna go away.
What?
What kind of comment was that even?
Blue eyes come from incest?
Why are there so many weirdos in this live stream?
Should we call your parents and ask them questions? This is a weird stream, you guys.
Sorry about your uncle and all that. Let's
Oh,
see
goodness.
here. Willow rumbled. I mean, it's just plain hypocrisy, and they're just so negative. No one really cares anymore. Well, judging by your terrible grammar, you probably don't speak English. We're not negative. I say a lot of negative things, and usually in an attempt to show comedy. So here's my calm, relaxing voice. Don't care what you think. All right, next question. This is a bit off topic, but do you have any tips for making videos going live to get people interested in your brand? Usually use a camera.
Do you take a live stream, or do you mean just making videos? Because there's a difference between like video ads and going live. In my experience, for one, like live videos, whether you're doing it on YouTube or Facebook Live is a great place to start. You get a lot more visibility in news feeds. Like, don't we get like an update every time? Yeah, we get an update every time someone goes live.
We push for an update for everything.
Yeah, so I would recommend starting with doing Facebook live streams. One of the most important things that you can do is call your people by name when you see them commenting. Call them by name. Don't stop talking no matter what. As in, if you get on, don't be like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here. Give me just a second while we'll wait for people to get here before we get started. Like, keep talking, keep them engaged. Otherwise they'll leave. And if you're talking straight to them, they're less likely to hop off the stream because they want to see what you have to say to them. So that would be my first recommendation. And then as for creating like video ads, honestly, hop on YouTube and start looking at tutorials. That's how I started when it came to video ads. I'm not even that good at them. You can scroll down if you go into my videos, like way down in my channel. You can see a bunch of my videos that I've uploaded from my old collections. But it's just one of those things that you have to practice.
All right, so we're supposed to be stopping in 3 minutes. We'll give it an extra 10 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to try to zoom through and not do in-depth explanations. Currently working 40 to 50 hours a week at my day job, and it might increase, and driving 10 to 12 hours a week. How do I not pass out when I get home and still do Etsy? It might not be the thing for you to be doing right now, to be completely honest with you. Like, put what time you can into it. If you can get help, get help. But that's a lot of work, and you're going to drive yourself insane.
Right. We can't tell you how to manage your time, unfortunately.
I mean, your only choices are to either figure out a way to cut your hours and take a risk at losing pay or being fired for requesting it, or stop doing Etsy for a little while, or just balance what you can. Right. Because you're going to go literally, you have to have off time. You're going to go insane.
Yeah. We're not going to lie to you and say, Etsy, just quit your job. Screw them. Do Etsy. We're not going to lie
to you. If we were doing just Etsy and not the Academy right now, we'd probably be doing, I don't know, if at a minimum, if we had a minimum, it'd probably be like 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
You think? But if we were doing like what we should be doing, it'd still probably be like 40 to 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
Combined workloads, like 25 hours a person. But yeah, still. Anyway, thank you. You guys are amazing. Found you on YouTube. Started following you guys. Thank you, Jamal. If I sell a dragon sculpture and renew the listing with the new photos for a different dragon, change the description only a little, but keep the same title, do you think it would help me?
Yes.
The SEO?
Now, listen, it'll help your SEO, but it's not going to help your customers, because if people have favorited that item and they go into their favorites,
it's going to show up something else.
What they're going to see is something completely unrelated to what they favorited. So
or if somebody just so happened to have it in their cart and you're doing the whole checkout thing and you completely switch the product.
Yeah,
that might be bad too. So
I wouldn't recommend doing that, honestly. It's going to really off-put your people who are It's not, people do that to think that they trick the algorithm. But when I see, like when I go into my favorites and I see something that I did not favorite, first of all, it upsets me a little bit. And second of all, I don't know. It makes me feel it's not like I feel negatively about that shop, but I'm just like, oh, okay. They put something, it's like they put something in my favorites that I didn't want there. So I would just keep that in mind.
Smoothie soup?
Smoothie soup?
No, it's either a smoothie or a soup. If it's got vegetables, it's a soup. If it's just fruits, then it's a smoothie.
Yard work is my escape.
Yard work is my escape. I hate yard work.
I'm
lazy though. Veggies equals soup, fruit equals smoothie. No.
Okay, scroll down a little bit. We'll skip all the
Soupy.
soup. We're back with the soup.
Oh my gazpacho when it's cold soup, or it's just cold soup. Shut up about what have I done? I'm gonna get that tattooed on my forehead. Let's see here.
Okay.
Which would be better to start with, HA or HTU? That is an invalid question, my friend.
Here's the thing. The way that our alphas have described it, HAA is going to teach you how to build a foundation on Etsy. What HTU is going to do, which is not my course, by the way, but if you want to take both.
We're not currently affiliated, but previously.
Right. HTU is going to take you above and beyond. It allows you to create and market. It is a marketing course. It teaches you how to market a handmade business, no matter what platform you're selling on. And it's going to help you to gain that mass media publications and go designer and go above and beyond just Etsy. So personally, if you want to ask me personally and what all of our beta testers have said, they all say, and I agree, Handmade Alpha Academy is a good place to start if you want to start on Etsy and learn the foundation and then graduate to HTU so you can continue with the marketing aspect.
We got another spammer, but I can't tell yet, judging by the hammer and sickle.
What is Etsy? It is, if you don't know what it is, this probably isn't the stream for you.
It's like eBay for selling your own stuff that's handmade. All right. Kinda. Let's see here. I got a big order of dolls from a museum. Is it okay to give a freebie with a big order? It's always okay to give a freebie as long as you can afford it.
Yeah. If you give a freebie, be sure to put something in there that says free gift, because they might acknowledge it as a mistake. Like, oh, they just gave me, something by accident. Make sure they know that it's a gift, and that's great. Is this just
another drug dealer thinking Etsy was ecstasy? Oh, okay. Man. Okay. Let's see here. How long did you spend making your key? Yeah, I know, right? How long did you spend making your keys before you decided they were worthy of being sold?
I made 3 for myself that I wanted to wear. And then I posted pictures of them on Facebook, and I had 2 or 3 friends ask me if I would make them some. So I did. And then I started getting messages from their friends. So I decided to make a Facebook page where I sold them. And then I made about 10 sales on Facebook, and then I decided to move them into my Etsy shop. So
I meant, like, when you get it done, will it be a part of HAA? Like, if I buy HAA, will I get it too? Was that the
Handmade Titan University?
No. I don't. Was that the same person? No, that was a totally different person. What did you ask? Nasty, what is it?
What?
Or is one of a kind included in the academy?
No, if you're
I meant, like, when you get it, will it be part of HAA? If you buy HAA, will I get it too?
No.
So if they buy Handmade Alpha Academy, will they get one of a kind for free? Like, will that come along with it?
It's a different course. It's a completely different course, so probably not.
We haven't decided that yet.
We don't even have it. Like,
we haven't even launched this one. Calm down.
We don't know yet. I don't know.
It'll be a separate course, but we don't know if you'll get access to all of them. We may. I think we've said that in the past, but that's something that we have to discuss on the offhand because it's money, yo. Calm down.
We'll figure it out.
Why would you want it?
We'll help you out.
Because most likely it's just going to be the exact same content, except we like the same actual videos that we've already recorded, except for the ones that are irrelevant to you or need specifically made for you as a one-of-a-kind or a vintage seller, right. And then we're just going to swap those out. So if you get Handmade Alpha Academy, there probably won't be anything else beneficial to you that you haven't already seen.
Right. If you buy them, if you get them both, there's just going to be
repetitive.
Right. So
we'll see.
We just got to talk about this because we have no idea yet.
We don't know yet. Can't wait for one of a kind. That'd be an awesome video. Colorado, pretty fun. Quality of life is needed. Much needed reward is needed.
Yes,
trolls that get kicked sending notice to other trolls to join. Man, I'm a memer. Calm down. Super high comment awards. I know what's up. All right.
Oh man, you guys.
I think your large influx of people signing on a while back was a group of hecklers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
me
was too.
It was all at once too.
By the way, I'm not a spammer.
Oh.
Okay, it was usually people with a hammer and sickle that join are a memer. So
our Russian friends.
Russian national anthem starts playing in the background every time he joins a channel. See, ignore the morons. They just want attention. They have no friends. They're saying it, not me, guys. I'm looking to moving from Facebook Live to live on YouTube. What are the differences?
The differences are people won't be they have to go off because most people are on Facebook all day. YouTube, they're not just sitting on YouTube all day. So you'll have to have a decent amount of influence to drive them from Facebook, from what they're already doing, to go to YouTube to watch your streams. So that's just something to consider. And you have to deal with people like what you're seeing in our comments, because this happens all the time. We usually just don't acknowledge it. Today, it's a short stream, so we're just kind of goofing off.
Where are the idiots coming from? This is a learning channel, but it's fun too. See, that's what we want. We don't want people here that are easily offended, that can't stand a curse word. Oh, he said shit. Oh, no. We don't want that. But at the same time, we want to educate you guys as much as possible. So we don't want to go too outlandish. That's why if I say anything that's too crazy, I apologize for it or whatever. Because I'm a different person off camera than what you see here. I'm way worse.
Yeah, but I'm
a metalhead, man. Come on. Look at my shirt. I got a freaking ram skull on my shirt. Chill out. Go away.
He's a metalhead, but he's the sweetest, freaking most giving, charitable person that you would ever meet in your life.
That's what's up.
His military influence obviously has hardened him into a cold, bitter man, but he has a heart of gold.
Let's see here. How many hours per week do you spend social media marketing? It depends, however much is necessary.
Yeah, there isn't like a set hour. It's just try to make sure that you publish new content daily if possible.
Do you think you will phase out your Etsy business to make this your main deal eventually?
No,
we've talked about this.
I love
definitely not, because I mean, here's the thing: we're helping you guys sell on Etsy. So if we stop our Etsy business, we're going to stop knowing how things work. We don't have a way to test our own theories. There's nothing in the course that she or I hasn't tested. Everything has been tested, tried and true. As of today, everything in the course works because we've tested it.
Yes.
And we've had other people test it without our help, and it works.
My plan for the Academy is to be able to expand and help more sellers who can't afford those formal educations, those formal trainings. Because what the Handmade Alpha Academy is going to do is it's going to allow me to have the capability to create more free trainings. That way, those people who start out with the free trainings, the ones who can't afford to just, go like balls to the wall with it and immediately jump in and take these expensive courses. Like, I get it. We all started there. I started with completely free resources. It's how I got my start, was free resources and books. And I want to make sure that I am keeping those people in mind, because I want to inspire people to seek that higher education. And it doesn't have to be from me. I say that all the time. If you don't like my voice, please don't buy my course. Go find someone else to teach you, but find someone to teach you, even if it's just a book.
All right, lightning round. Let's try to get through some quick.
Let's do it.
All right. Stop. Starla, do you have other people that help you in your back office stuff?
No.
Besides hubby? No, we're monogamous.
No, we have.
I'm gross. No, I mean, our alphas. Technically, they're not officially employees.
We have two admins in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, Dolly and Lissa. But
things, beta testers, group admins, stuff like that. But nobody that's officially employed, and no one that we pay. We don't pay anybody.
No, they just are really nice and offered to help out.
And with Spraggins.
But in terms of my Etsy shop,
your message. Why'd you retract it, yo? Whatever. What is, we already got through that. Never a dull moment. Mark's Outburst, Hilarious, who's been on it today. I know I think it's because I'm tired and I'm able to think a little bit slower, so I'm not just spouting out crap out of my mouth. Well, I haven't cursed as much either. Fire Queen, so just by wearing them around and getting mouth-to-mouth advertising, you get your first customers. I just got my first order showing art journal I made. It does work. Congratulations. Sell the one-of-a-kind separately for money. Yes, but as a side note, consider is that some people have one-of-a-kind pieces in their shop and could benefit from some one-of-a-kind info To market those pizzas. Yeah, that's true.
Those pizzas.
Pizzas.
Market those pizzas.
My mouth's dry, and I'm pretty sure she drank all her water.
I did.
So she drinks it in like the first 5 minutes of the stream.
I do. That's why I always have to pee.
Here. How would you market worldwide so I'm not limiting myself to USA?
You market the exact same way. There's no difference in how you market.
It's the internet.
Social media is open to everybody. So make sure that your products
and everything's already translated and all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, you never know how old the person is or how much they know about technology.
Right.
Once you put something on the site, it's available for most people around the world.
Right. So just make sure that your shipping is available for all countries.
Totally agree with Rachel. See it all time in Etsy now.
Will there be any Pinterest trainings in HAA? No, it is a Etsy course. It is only about
specifically Etsy. I mean, you've got some stuff about social media marketing.
Right. There's like a tiny section about social media, but if you want a Pinterest course, go sign up for Renee Christine's email list and enroll in Pinterest Academy. In fact, I believe that if you go to cupcaketrainings.com, you can go into her products tab and read a little bit of the information about Pinterest Academy. The enrollment isn't open right now, though, but you can go look if you want to check it out, because I'm in Pinterest Academy and it's a great course. I'm not touching Pinterest because Renee Christine already did it and she did a phenomenal job. So be sure to go check that out.
Is promoted listings worth it on Etsy? Yes. If so, how does the budget work? Whatever you can afford. I know Domestic Platypus answered this question too, $3 to $4 a day. Yeah, we typically say $5 is a good starting point. If that's too much for you, and everybody has their own circumstances, start with what you can afford and bump it up if you can afford it. And if you think it's necessary,
right?
Because if you're a new shop, it's probably not necessary for you to spend $500 a month on advertising because it's not going to do much for you. You're not going to have any credibility. You're not going to have any age. You're not you know what I mean? So yeah, people
want to see reviews.
You don't want a sudden influx anyway. What's your favorite book for learning business? That's kind of broad. What specifically?
So I don't recommend business books because in most cases, business books are by rich guys who want to try to get richer by teaching you how they got rich. And it's not necessarily ever a duplicatable thing that they've created for you. They're just kind of talking. What I recommend are psychology books. And if you join the Handmade Alpha Facebook community down below and you go into the resource guide, you can look at our affiliate library. Yes, we are affiliates. We do get a commission if you buy a book from us. But I have literally all of the books that set my foundation for success in that list, and you can shop from it. I recommend psychology books because when you read a marketing book, like I said, you're trying to duplicate someone else's experience. When in reality, what you should be doing is reading a psychology book where you're finding out how the human brain actually works and applying what you learn to your business, which sounds really hard. But when you look at human behavior, it's really easy to say, hey, my customers do that, or hey, that might be how my customers think. And that's how ultimately I've been able to build my own reputation on Etsy, is by studying psychology as opposed to just business.
Have you ever tried to sell on eBay?
Yes, I actually I sell on eBay when I have
auctions, charity auctions and stuff.
Right, charity auctions and things. My eBay auctions do really well, but I also market them externally. I drive traffic to them. So
you're not going to get that organically. Let's see here. Would you recommend free shipping and higher prices or a flat shipping fee for Etsy sale? I live in Europe and will market to the whole world, and shipping costs about $18.
I think it depends on how much your product price is. Because if your product is priced very low, it's harder to get someone. For example,
look at your competition. Look at competition in other places in Europe and see what they're doing.
Yeah, and not only that, but people are usually on Etsy, they're willing to pay a shipping price. Like most people on Etsy aren't just filtering out looking for free shipping. They're looking for an artisan product, and they know that there's going to be a shipping price. I would just make sure that you're looking at the comparison price to the product that you're selling, So,
all right, last couple of questions. Do you recommend extending processing times when sales are more than I can handle with current deadlines? Do you think it will drive customers away? Realistically, you should plan that prior to your sale. If you're expecting a huge sale, you should extend it then.
I don't think she means like sales. She means like actual, like her number of sales are more than she can handle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should be predicting what your payout is going to be like that. So you can extend it prior, because once somebody makes the purchase, you can't extend the processing time anymore.
What I would recommend doing instead is raising your prices. Because if you raise your price, because it sounds like if you're getting that many orders,
or get help. again, we talk about scalability all the time. If you can't keep up with it, then you're not scalable.
Right. Raise your prices slightly. What that's going to do is it's going to make each sale more heavy. It's going to actually, I mean, like Renee Christine says, it's easier to sell one $100 product than it is to sell 100 $1 products. So when you raise those prices, people are still going to value your products at those prices. You're just not going to see as many sales, but you're still going to be making the same, if not more money. So
I have success doing markets and shows and had a product in Renee Christine's coffee table book.
cool.
How do you go about getting your product in stores? And do you think it's a good idea, consignment wholesale, if that's all you want to do? Because when you get into that, if somebody actually takes you up on an offer, that's all you're going to be doing all the time.
Right.
And you're probably going to have to outsource a lot of help.
Right. And honestly, Angela, since that's not something that I've personally done, it's not something that I want to
We've looked into it. Like when we
Right.
first started our business, we had a couple of offers that fell through, but
Right. It's not something that we have expertise in. Renee Christine would be a better source of help for that.
yup.
Because I'm not big on, I don't personally do wholesale.
Business books. Yep. Too many people got lucky and had a good run and tried a bit of luck. Yeah. Most of those
Yeah.
business books that are like, oh, how I made $1 million. They made $1 million by selling you their book.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
And it's not a duplicatable formula. It's not
nope,
like a step.
It's a they got lucky at one point doing exactly what they did, and now they're millionaires most of the time. Not all the time. Some people are legit, but it's not gonna. Most books and techniques won't work for you when it comes to that kind of education.
I read a lot of freaking books, guys.
It's different when it comes to selling on the internet, doing SEO and all that kind of stuff. Like when you talk about our course, Renee's course, all the other giant like Etsy courses.
Because those are step by step.
Right.
It's a duplicatable formula. You have to look for a duplicatable formula.
Okay, we're gonna go like super fast. Do you know anything about Aftkra? It's an alternate to Etsy, and I can't find any SEO information. No, we don't know anything about
Here's the thing. When there's a market giant that already dominates, for example, there will be no other Facebook. There will be no other Instagram. Vero is trying to do that.
There likely won't be another Facebook.
It's going to be really hard. So Etsy is already the giant. If you see someone trying to take the position away from the giant and it's not, it's not that big, it probably won't get that big. Just like Handmade at Amazon isn't that big. It's Etsy. Etsy already dominates.
See, what advice do you have someone who sells printable planners for blogging, business, and life? That we don't sell that.
I would just need to know exactly like a specific question, because are you trying to balance? Are you trying to market those products? Like what specifically do you want to know? Because printables make things a lot easier. Like digital shops, you have so much more time than the seller who has to actually sit and ship every single order. So you do have that benefit of, controlling your time a little bit better.
To market and sell more.
To market. My recommendation would be to make sure that you're marketing a lifestyle that you want to achieve.
This is last question too, before anybody asks any more questions. We got to hop off here. We're busy today.
Yeah. So my recommendation would be to make sure that you have a lifestyle in mind and make sure that you're finding people who want to live a similar lifestyle. And you're going to do that through cohesive branding that your target customer or your target market is immediately going to see and identify. And if you guys want a example of a beautiful Etsy shop that I hope she doesn't mind me shouting her out, go look at this Etsy seller. She is currently beta testing the Handmade Alpha Academy. Her shop is absolutely stunning and she sells a lifestyle. So you can look at her Etsy shop and see the lifestyle that she's selling. And that's why her printables are so successful. So you just have to look at the lifestyle that you want to sell to, and then, really, really focus on the needs and the values of that target customer. And that's the best way to market, is create marketing photos and images and marketing that's going to really appeal to that specific person. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out today. We will have tons more information on the Handmade Alpha Academy very soon.
Look in your inboxes, spam folders, and all that stuff every day. Yeah,
that stuff will be coming very soon. And we have a designated live stream just for the Handmade Alpha Academy to answer your questions. I will say that handmadealphaacademy.com is live right now, and visible, but it is just a landing page where you can see, you can get a link to the channel, a link to get on the email list, a link to join the Facebook community. It's just a very small landing page for new people who haven't, come across us any other way, for people who Google us. But if you were to click on that page, it is live now. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all of your questions and for hanging out today. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you this upcoming Friday.
Peace.
Bye.